So I've never seen an FBI document. I'm thinking, should they be giving this shit to me?
So there's one page towards the back that ends in 956. I think it's the third from the last page of the presentation.
There's an earlier reference on 949.
Oh, right, confirming the proper. Apologies, there is. Agreed.
Which page you want me to look at?
Ending in 956, the only substantive mention of you.
Yes.
You can see this is a slide that's titled Prominent Names, and it's naming some prominent individuals who have some connection or link to Mr. Epstein. Your name appears in the middle column, all the way down at the bottom. And under Les Wexner, it just has one entry. There's a name that's redacted, and its redacted name stated, Epstein earned his money from having homosexual sex with Wexner. I know you were asked this question earlier, but in the context of this FBI report, is it correct that you did not have any sexual or romantic relationship with Mr. Epstein?
Absolutely not, or any man ever. I'm very straight, super straight.
Thank you.
That's wacky. Do we get to keep that? No. I just never read an FBI report.
Go ahead. Thank you, Mr. Wexner, for your testimony here today. Just wanted to start with a question around U.S. Senator John Husted, and it's been reported that you gave him something like $117,000 in donations. Is that correct?
I think you mean John Husted?
I'm John Husted, yeah.
I don't know how much money I gave him.
Would that sound about right? It's a substantial sum.
Well, I'm thinking, I met John when he was a state representative. I'm sure I helped him. I helped him politically when he ran for lieutenant governor. I probably contributed to senatorial campaigns. So is it possible over time I would have given him that much money? It is.
Well, let me maybe be
But
more
I don't
accurate. I think
remember
it was recently reported that you gave him $117,000 sometime shortly before he voted no on releasing the Epstein files. Would that sound familiar?
No.
No? Did you or any of your representatives ever lobby Senator Husted or anybody else in the federal government to prevent the release of materials related to the Jeffrey Epstein files?
Absolutely not.
Did you or your representatives ever request that the Department of Justice redact your name in any files?
No. Absolutely not.
Wanted to move on. Now, I remember the document we referenced a little earlier mentioning former Prime Minister Ehud Barak. Did you ever have a relationship with the former Prime Minister?
Can you define relationship?
Sure. Any relationship? Do you know Prime Minister Barak? How, if so, could you elaborate on how familiar you were with him?
Well, I was only with him a couple or three times in my life. I happened to be in Israel when he was elected, but before he was sworn in as prime minister. We had a brief meeting in his political office. It wasn't the government office. May have met him in Israel when he was prime minister, but I don't recall. I know that I had dinner with him and I think his wife and daughter and Abigail in New York after he was out of office, I think. I don't think he was prime minister.
Did you ever communicate with the Prime Minister outside of personal meetings, phone calls, emails?
He came here once, I think, for Jewish community stuff, and we went to a football game. That's all I remember.
Did you ever communicate by email or phone call or other correspondence?
No, I don't think I ever had his address or phone number or email address or text number or whatever.
Are you aware of the Wexner Foundation or any other trusts or foundations or organizations affiliated with you ever donating money to the former prime minister?
No.
Would it surprise you if I told you that an FBI report stated, a report that the Wexner Foundation transferred at least $2.3 million in US dollars to former Prime Minister Ehud Barak?
Shocked.
Shocked. Okay. I want to move to a different topic here. Are you familiar with the gentleman named Richard Adrian?
Who?
Richard Adrian.
No.
Do you remember anybody being a bodyguard from you by that name?
No.
No? 1991 to 1992?
No.
How many bodyguards have you had over the course of your career?
I don't.
Hundreds? Dozens?
No, not hundreds, but I don't know.
Dozens. Okay, now Mr.
50 or
Adrian
60.
reported that he had accompanied you between 1991 and 1992 when he was your bodyguard to Epstein's Palm Beach home. Does that sound familiar at all?
Objection, that's not what it says.
That he accompanied Mr. Epstein, Mr. Wexner to Epstein's property?
No, it doesn't say that. Are you looking at the?
EFTA 12-124-9191?
Yeah, it should.
I don't have it in front of me, but
No, it says that he did accompany him, and then it says the bodyguard was at the Epstein residence. It doesn't say the bodyguard was at the Epstein residence with Mr. Wexner.
I'm sorry, did you ever accompany the bodyguard to Epstein's Palm Beach home?
Everywhere I went, I had
So, yeah.
security.
And so would it surprise you then, I believe that this is correct, that the bodyguard said that he noticed a number of young girls there, noticeably young. You've never seen young girls at the Epstein property?
I was only there once for an hour, and I was there with my wife and another couple.
Okay. I have one last question, and then I'll kick it back. You mentioned a couple of times that you received $20 million for the mansion on 71st Street in Manhattan. How was that money transferred to you?
I don't know.
You don't know. Like, nobody, how do you know it was ever paid to you?
Well, I guess Abigail would have known.
Abigail wouldn't know?
Whether it was a check, whether it was a money order, whether it was, a bag of money. I have no
So
idea.
$20 million, and you just like take someone's say so for it.
No, $20 million is a lot of money, and airplanes cost a lot of money too, and I don't know exactly how we pay for them, or if we sold an airplane, exactly how we get paid. But we've bought and sold personally a few airplanes. And you could ask me the same question. I don't know.
And so I think we have a number of media references, New York Times, I think the Wall Street Journal, Bloomberg, all noting that no cash was transferred at the time of a essential transaction. No exchange of money was noted at the time. So do you have any records, like after the fact, after you learned that Jeffrey Epstein, as you put it, stole from you, did you ever look into how that money was transferred to you?
No.
No? Didn't strike your interest, even though you knew that Jeffrey Epstein was stealing from you?
Once I knew he was stealing from me, it was, again, my wife is a very competent business attorney. We have good accountants. I believe good counsel, and that's not what I do. And I don't go back and, if I fired somebody in the business, I didn't follow them to see if they behaved badly again. They were done. That's just how
Let me then follow up and ask, did your wife ever mention to you how the money was transferred?
No.
Or that it was transferred?
Objection as to spousal privilege, but he's already answered.
All right, thank you very much then.
Mr. Wexner, Steve Lynch, Massachusetts. How long did you know Mr. Epstein? When did you first meet him?
I think they asked me that question earlier before you joined this group. I think it was like 5 years before I got married, about early 80s, I would guess.
Early 80s?
I think so. I don't remember precisely.
And in all the time that you knew him, and he worked for you, he was your power of attorney, handled a lot of really important things in your life. Do you remember him ever having a romantic interest or women in your presence as his guests or associates?
I mentioned earlier, too, the first one was Dr. Ava Anderson. I met her, and Jeffrey said
When was that, sir? I'm sorry.
when I first met him, whenever that was,
So 80s?
early
or
80s.
90s, yeah.
And my understanding, because meeting her, is that Ava was a very attractive woman. I think she was in med school, so, yeah, and, you know, so she was a serious person. And
Yeah.
she is a serious person. She's an oncologist, she's married, she has children.
I get you.
And then, I don't know how many years later, he broke up with Ava, and Glenn came into his life probably about the time I got engaged. And
When was that, sir?
I got engaged I got engaged on September 8th, 1992, because I got engaged on my birthday.
And so at that point, Mr. Epstein's relationship with Ghislaine Maxwell was romantic at the time.
It was about then that I met her, and they said they were going to get married. And it was, you know, I was getting married, you know, Jeffrey was getting married, so it seemed like, you know, everybody was going to be in Happy Valley in terms of their life. And both women, I mean, there were grown-up women. Ghislaine is exactly the same age as Abigail, and very smart. She said she was like an honors graduate of Cambridge or Oxford, and, you know, quite charming, and, you know, English accent, and an attractive woman. So I was very happy for them.
Do you ever remember spending time with Epstein, any of his other romantic interests or girlfriends, especially younger women, in your presence?
No, there were no others that I was present or mentioned.
Ever in his presence with women who may have been of teenage or minors?
You know, I thought about that. What did I miss about this guy? And I don't think I was ever with him, or he was ever with anyone. It's vague in my memory that I would say was under the age of 28, 30. I mean, he was with adult women,
What about,
or women that they looked adult. You know,
what
they said
about
they were a
Virginia
lawyer and
Dufresne?
accountant or something.
I know this name has come up earlier in the deposition, Virginia Dufresne. Dufresne, I'm sorry. Do you recall ever meeting her in Jeffrey's presence?
Absolutely never. I don't.
Or Virginia Roberts, I think her maiden name was?
No,
Okay.
absolutely not.
How about Miss Farmer? I thought Miss Farmer might have made allegations about something that happened here on your property,
We've actually covered it. It wasn't his property, it's an adjacent property.
an adjacent property. Thank you for the clarification. Or certainly
No,
on the next door.
no, never.
Was that Mr.,
Kessler,
whose property is next door? I'm sorry.
my friend was business partner in New Albany, Jack Kessler.
So no women who seemed unusually young then?
Absolutely.
Okay. We also understand from your counsel's proffer that you interacted with a number of other prominent people who knew and had dealings with Epstein, including Prince Andrew, various professors at Harvard, perhaps a sultan of some sort in Dubai, perhaps Howard Lutnick. With respect to Prince Andrew, who has also been accused of sexual misconduct in connection with at least one woman trafficked by Mr. Epstein, did you ever see or become aware of this interaction between Prince Andrew and one of these young women?
I never met Prince Andrew, so I wasn't aware of anything other than,
No chatter about that in terms of you're dealing with either introduced by Mr. Epstein or by Ghislaine Maxwell. that whole interaction between those two and Prince Andrew? You have
I
any
had.
knowledge of that?
I had no conversations, interactions with Prince Andrew about women or anything. I had one brief, like 2-sentence phone conversation. He called me here in Columbus.
And what was that for?
To me, it's a funny story. I'm getting ready to go to work. I think I was in the garage, and my wife or somebody came out and said, "You have a phone call." Maybe it wasn't my wife, but it was somebody. And they said, "It's a guy that says he's the Duke of York." And I thought, the Duke of York, what the hell is that? So I went in the kitchen, hello, and this is Andrew. I don't think he said, this is Andrew, Duke of York. This is Andrew Windsor, or whatever he called himself. And I said, hello. And he said, I helped my mother buy her airplane. And I know that you buy and sell airplanes. So if I could be of service with you in airplane transactions, I could help. And I said, no, thank you. We're covered. And have a nice day. And hung up and just kind of laughed my ass off that the Duke of York called me about.
So he cold called you to sell you an airplane or to help you buy an airplane?
It was airplane advice because
Was
he'd
that
helped his mother.
plane that you eventually sold to Mr.
Oh,
Epstein?
no. It was just, had nothing to do with anything that was going on. It was like, I know that you buy and sell airplanes in your business. I know you have buy an airplane personally, and I know you buy and sell airplanes. And when you do, if you need an advisor, I'm available. And it's like, no, thank you, I'm covered.
So he offered to advise you on purchasing airplane.
Pardon? Did he?
He offered to advise you? I'm just trying to understand why the Prince of York would be calling you about buying.
Yeah, me too. It was like out of the blue. I mean, you could have called me up that day and said you were the Prince of York and you want to advise me on my lunch or something. I was like, what the hell is this?
You would have recognized the difference in accents.
Yeah, maybe. And with respect to those other figures who I mentioned, did you ever see or become aware of any prominent academic figures or this so-called Sultan of Dubai or Howard Lutnick or any other notable person being introduced to young women by either Epstein or Maxwell?
Well, I've never met Howard Lutnick. I just didn't know his name until he became popular or, in the news.
Yeah, his name's extensively in the
Yeah, so
like your own.
But anyway, I just never heard his name, didn't know him. Some of the people that were on that list, I knew their names, and some of them introduced themselves to me.
But that wasn't his
I
question.
understand. Wasn't it?
No.
Oh, because you asked me, I thought you asked if I knew the same.
Any other of those prominent individuals, were you aware that either Epstein or Ghislaine Maxwell was facilitating introductions or contact between those
absolutely not.
individuals and young women?
No, absolutely not.
And you yourself, sir, never had physical contact with any of these young survivors or victims, as they are alternatively called, these young women?
Never, ever.
All right, I think that's all I have. Thank you.
Just two more, and then we'll give you a break. First, with respect to the birthday note that we looked at earlier for Mr. Epstein's birthday, just making sure we have your testimony, it's that you signed the note, your friend, but Mr. Epstein was not ever actually your friend from your point of view. Is that correct?
Correct.
And you do not have any understanding of why you would sign that card, your friend?
I think I was sending a birthday note to somebody, I'd say your friend or something. I wouldn't just sign my name. It would be like I don't know. It's not a salutation, is it? It's the end of a letter or something. Yours truly, best, something like that.
Do you recall ever drawing a pair of women's breasts on any correspondence with any other business associate of yours?
No.
We can go off the record.